Hello and welcome to another video. This one's gonna be unique because my friend Osage the cat is gonna be here with me. After filming the video with him, with me petting him till he falls asleep, he doesn't exactly want to leave and he wants me to keep petting him, I think. But I want to film a separate video, but he wants to accompany me, I think. So you might see a couple of his paws or his tail throughout this video. But we'll see how it goes. So, today's video is going to be a collection video. And this is going to be a collection of stones, pendants, and crystals. So Osage just leapt away courageously to investigate a fly that was flying near the wall. So I do hope he can save us all from that fly. God forbid the fly get away. You know, the end of the world might ensue. So Osage is going to take care of that while we're working on this. So anyway, guys, as I said before, this video is going to be a collection of stones. Now, these aren't my stones per se. There's also one shell in here, obviously. These are stones that my brother has collected. And right here we have a couple of crystals. And these are part of the set that he usually keeps. And these aren't part of any sets or anything. These ones are ones that he's found while hiking and things like that. I'm not sure what the origin of this shell is. But they're all pretty beautiful, very sparkly. This one's much clearer, as you can tell. This one has a bit of a rough underside, which kind of gives the whole stone, or crystal rather, a light yellow hue. So these are just a couple to start us off. At this point, we're going to move on to a couple more. Now this one has a bit of a rougher surface. As you can see, this side of it has kind of a bluish hue. It's very sparkly on this side. There's elements and traces of red and white. On this side we have some variations of white and gray. This one feels a little bit rough around the edges, except for this stripe here. And this stripe here is actually This one is very, very smooth. I'm no expert, but I'm wondering if this might be perhaps some sort of volcanic rock. I'm not sure. Now I have one next that is very interesting. This one, I don't know what to make of it. One edge of it is quite smooth, and the other has somehow gotten these other attachments fused to it, it looks like, over time. So it's really interesting. I don't know how this happened. Oh, here comes Osage. He's coming to inspect what's going on. So I don't know what to make of this one. It's kind of a light gray color. No silver or luminescence or shininess, but a couple striations and veins along where it connects with its other parts. This is a really unique stone. I've never seen anything like this before. Now we have one more here. This one has obviously been shaped and formed and polished. So much so that you might even be able to see the reflection of the light in my camera on its surface there. This one is very, very smooth, but it does have a couple of textured areas, like right here. I can feel these little divots here, and my fingernail couldn't even reach in. It's very reflective, it's very smooth. It just kind of feels good against the skin to kind of rub over. Osage, what do you think of this one? What do you think of this, my friend? I'm gonna hold that and see how that one feels. Okay. Osage is gonna take care of that one for me for a minute. I can move on to our second pendant. This one is clearly, this one is very interesting. It's very luminescent. It's kind of shining from within. We have these dull brownish red striations coming through, and then almost a silvery gray that's kind of shining and very reflective. As we flip it over here, you can see over on this side as well. We've got these striations running through again, and we have the bluish gray showing up very clearly through here. Again, this one, the whole surface feels smooth. You can barely detect the striations underneath the fingertips. So this one's very cool. These two are kind of a similar shape. I think these ones, the purpose would most likely be a pendant on a necklace. It kind of makes an interesting sound when they're not together. So I'm going to put these two aside on our pouch. Let's take a look at what we have remaining. So we've got one very small red stone here. This is almost the size of a kidney bean, I would say. I'm not sure if you can see that, but we've got some really bright red coloration here. It's very smooth to the touch again. As you go around, it's kind of a reddish base color with these black striations in here. These are all very bright So this one is not as polished. However, it is naturally polished and it is quite smooth. We have areas of black with white flecks dispersed throughout. And then on this half we have kind of a mustard yellow as the black fades into it there. This one's just really interesting. Most of these stones in this collection have been just found naturally. Obviously the pendants that we were looking at just now have been polished. But each of these stones has been naturally found. Now this one looks more like I don't want to say run-of-the-mill, but more of a standard river pebble with a couple colors. We've got a dark gray and then a lighter gray together embedded. You still have so many to get through. Let's check out this one. Ooh, so as you can see already, we've got quite a bit of sparkle here. So I'm gonna guess that this is some kind of mica embedded into the rock. We also have these areas of a rusty color against the backdrop of the black stone. Over here as well, we can see that there's a bit of mica right there shining against the light. As we turn it around, look at that other side one more time. You can really see right there how bright it's showing up. It's very, very cool. You know, you'd look at a stone like this and just say, like, oh yeah, it's just a regular rock, but then you just have to kind of study it a little bit with a closer eye and just see that underneath it's really beautiful. This one feels very smooth to the touch. Now, with my eyes, I can't detect anything particularly special about this rock, but it is very smooth to the touch. It does have kind of a unique triangular shape from the sides. Now, this stone collection, obviously some of them are pendants like from before, but some of them are simply, tokens and reminders from travels and memories and things like that. So, to you and I, they may not appear as anything special, but things like this can always serve as little mementos and reminders, can't they? I'm going to treat each one as if it was its own gem. This one's got one very smooth side right here. The rest are a little rougher, but just slightly. coloration. I think this might be a form of quartz. But I definitely am not sure. I could be wrong. This one is very, very cool. Now, I'm not sure if this is coming across on camera, but the darker part of it that seems simply black actually has like a maroon tint to it, which is really, really interesting. It also has pretty straight lines throughout of other coloration, so it's almost like a dark, dark, dark maroon. Then we've got this green stripe flowing throughout. Right there. It's very, very smooth. Again, it's got that slightly maroon tinge to it. And on this side we have a few very straight lines intersecting right there. They're very light though, and intersecting right here. And again, over here right at the edge. And this one goes all the way around here. This is just so interesting how it's like a dark maroon, not even a black. That's very, very cool. I was not expecting that. This one's a smooth. This one's a smooth river pebble. This one to me looks like it has elements of like a navy blue, but just slightly. It's barely even perceptible. I'm not sure if that's showing up. This one reminds me of that one we were looking at earlier. I'm just gonna see. So in person, this one looks a little bit like a light green, actually. Like a light Kelly green almost. With a little bit of sparkle here. It's like a grayish green. This one's pretty interesting, actually. I like how one side is very, very smooth and the other side has its divots over here. Very, very cool. Got one more pebble right here. It's a light white color with a divot on the side and a tiny little hole right here. It's barely noticeable. This one feels very, very smooth. So it looks like what we have remaining is a few crystals. This one is so cool. It's like a bright white. It's just totally white. It's like blinding. see if I can give you a closer look. So this is so crystal clear, no pun intended. But look at that. You can see so deeply straight into it. You can see the striations on the side where maybe it was cut once. Not sure. You can see right through there. And again, this is not glass. This is a crystal. And you can see on the side how it's magnifying. You can see all the dimensions inside it. That's just so cool. You can see straight across. Let me see if I can show you what I meant before about how it was magnifying later. But before I do that, let's take a really close look at these other guys. So this one is slightly more opaque, but this is still really cool. It's not every day that you find stones like this outside when you're hiking or whatever, that are so bright and vivid and luminescent and just so eye-catching. Like if you were to find this on the trail, this would definitely catch my eye. Let's take a look at this last one here. So, this last one doesn't have the clear facets like the previous one did, but this is still really beautiful and so shiny on the sides. Very cool. So let me see if I can show you what I meant before about this one. Alright, so we'll put these back. is exactly. I'm pretty sure this is just part of a shell. But look at that, it's so pearly. Has so many colors in there, some greens, yellows, pinks. Especially in this side, there's really like all the whole rainbow encompassed in there. You can see those striations as well. Very, very cool. It's gonna be our first one. Put that to the side there. Now this one is very, very smooth, very polished. You can kind of see into it almost, just slightly. You can see how there's different tones inside of there. Stripe running through. This one's very reflective. Move on to our two crystals here. Now these crystals are also found a bit of a textured surface on this side here. So you flip it around, you can see that we can see through this one a bit. You can see the tones. See that there's a bit of purple, blue showing up there as I switch the angle of light being casted on it. Yellows and greens and pink even. Pink right there and orange. It's very cool. It's just barely detectable, but it is there. On this side you can almost see, through it. Again, see right here. Got blue, pink, green, and then a lighter blue right there. All right there. That's so cool. Sometimes it pays to be extremely detail oriented. But that's awesome. It's beautiful. Let's see what this one has for us. So this one has it's a little bit rougher around the edges. We have one side though that's extremely smooth. This one's almost glassy on this side. It's so smooth. So you get these other surfaces here. More textured crevices. Again, this side has its smoother elements. Now this one you can kind of see inside of it. All the edges. You can see through this one as well. I just think that's kind of cool. You can see through. This one's gorgeous as well. Now, I think I've saved the best for last here. This stone, I'm not sure what it's made of, but obviously it has been polished. Now, I don't know, if I had to totally guess on this, I would guess that this is some form magenta pink right there. There it is. Down there in the right hand corner. I just think that's so cool. Like, how did something like this even happen? I don't know. It's so cool. And then obviously we've got these like rust mustard tones. Almost like a yellowy, greenish orange. I can't describe it. Maybe just a light tan. But this stone is just so cool. Let me see if I can get that. There we go. You can see the texture, the lines, the variations in the tones. Again, see that magenta down there, right here? Only appears at certain angles, but it is there. Some orange right there in the top right of it. Obviously, I would have to say this is my favorite one. This is just so cool. I don't know where my brother got this. I don't know really where he got any of these. I think a couple of them, I mean, you know, most of them have obviously been found through travels and hiking. Some of them purchased, some of them traded, I'm sure, but just put this one back in our pile here. I'm gonna realign these on the incense tray. Now, on this incense tray, or incense holder, it's actually this stone here. This is the remainder of the incense from today. But this feels to me like a sandstone. It's very light, and porous, and spongy even. Like, I feel like if I stepped on this, it would break. It kind of feels fragile. Almost like a pumice stone that you would use to, like, exfoliate or whatever. It might just be a form of pumice, I suppose, but looks like he drilled in a couple holes to hold the incense. But again, that's how fragile it is. You can just drill into it, so it's kind of interesting. Again, we've got the ashes of the incense right here, and it's making my hands all dirty, so I probably should stop doing that. But I'll wash that off later. For now, we're just gonna realign our crystals and our stones here. So this is all set. I'm gonna put this onto the side. Again, we've got the ones that we started off with. And then we've got our navy leather pouch full of extra special ones. So guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I had kind of a lot of fun filming this, actually. You know, I knew I was interested in this, to explore these, but I was just surprised at how much detail there really was. Look at this one again. This one, I'll give you a closer look because you didn't get a closer look before, but this one is just like bright blue. That's so cool. So, again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any requests for the future, please let me know. If you have any questions for me, please let me know.